Focus! What are we working on? This is Cathy Bartuli from intimacydojo.com.
This is Reid from readaboutsex.com.
And we have a question.
You actually started this as a joke, but I actually want to know. How do you know when to pull out?
Wow. Okay.
No, I'm serious. Like, what are the sensations? Like, what do you pay attention to?
Oh, this is a real question?
It's a real question.
Okay, so how do you know when to pull out? Well, first off, as a sex geek and as a sex educator, I hope that you are wearing a condom so that, and the reason you're pulling out is because you had a conversation with the person that you're penetrating and asked them if and when I were to ejaculate, how would you like that to happen? Like, should I come inside you? Would you like me to pull out? Like, what's there? It's a really interesting situation that even I'm trying to remember to ask that question more often because no one asks that question of people who are being penetrated. And then what I want to ask for a lot of reasons, but mostly I want to ask because one of the reasons is I want to see what they do, like what's their face, because they're like, I've never had anyone ask me that ever. And I'm like, well, how do you want this to go? Now, this is also really useful if you're getting head, if you're receiving head, and you're a penis owner that has the ability to ejaculate, check in with that person and be like, hey, just before you really get into what you're doing, when I'm close to the thing, the point of no return, and I'm going to ejaculate, like, how do you like that to happen?
Right. Some people love to have people ejaculate in their mouth or inside them. Some people want to.
It's polite.
Chest or,
it's polite to ask and savvy. And what you end up doing is for those of us who enjoy giving head, we're not like doing our thing, being like,
is it okay?
It's going to happen. When's going to happen? Like,
well, and if I don't want someone to come in my mouth, for example, if I've had that conversation, I'm not thinking, is it close? Should I pull away?
Yeah.
Or like, it's addressed.
Are they going to be a ninja and not say anything? Or are they going to like scream like, I'm coming! Like, these are all things you can alleviate by bringing it up and checking in. And if you're not perfect at this yet, I'm not even perfect at it, but that doesn't mean I'm not doing the work to get better and more awesome. And in a world where nobody's asking, you become awesome and amazing. And if you're the one receiving, you can ask them. Like, hey, when you get close to
please
coming,
pull out. I don't want you to come in my mouth.
Here's what I would like to have happen, but like, this is a collaborative conversation. Like, what are your choices? What are your preferences?
You still get to have no. So if you're not a yes, you get
like,
to have
hey, don't come in me.
Yeah.
No matter.
You can come on my shoulders or in your hand, but don't come in my mouth.
Shoulder. Which is it? Left shoulder?
Just the shoulder.
This one I have a little rotator cuff injury, so could you hit this one? And then you could be like, oh, like kind of like a
shot,
like a Matrix movie. Okay, that aside, how do you know when to pull out? Let's get back to the original question.
I mean, I think sometimes the simple questions like that can be really powerful because people don't talk about it. Like, how do you know what signals to watch for, what sensations to tune into?
The way that you know is you practice your masturbation. And you make it a practice to actually become present to the sensations in your body when you know you're about to ejaculate. So what I would recommend, because I'm a dork and a nerd, what you want to do is you want to practice a thing called edging, which is masturbating to get really close to orgasm and just kind of hover on the edge of it and see if you can kind of like a race car in a James Bond film, like if you can drive those windy roads of arousal without like falling off the cliff, right? So getting to understand, and again, like if you fail with masturbation and you come, it's not a horrible, you don't tumble down the cliff in a fiery death.
But you can also pay attention to how your body feels as you get close.
Yeah. So understand what your edges are like and get more used to that. I would also recommend buying a fleshlight, which is a male masturbator, a penis owner masturbator. And because of the way that fleshlights are created, and Fleshlight is not paying me for this video, I'm just a big fan of their product because of the way it's designed. It gives you an opportunity because you can stuff it in your couch cushions and hump it. So or in in between a pillow or something, or even have a friend hold it. Like, hey, can you hold this for a minute? Ha ha! That would be awesome. That's a great video. We got to shoot that video. But
make sure it's consensual.
You're using the motions and the sensation to again learn how to tell when you're getting really close to coming. Mm-hmm. And then the things that you learn from edging and from edging with a fleshlight is how to you learn your braking distance, which is if you're coming up to orgasm really quickly, even if you try to stop, you kind of skid off the cliff. So understanding how to judge how quickly you're coming towards orgasm so that you can back off. And for pulling out, you want to pull out before your prostate starts pumping. And again, this is my advice is unless you're fluid bonded, and go get tested before you decide to be fluid bonded with people. And that if you're sleeping with other people, you're using condoms with everybody else. And if you're on birth control, because again, people can still get pregnant if you're, depending on who you're fucking. Pull out before the orgasm starts to happen.
So would you be willing to share some of the sensations to normalize? Everybody's a little different, but to normalize it, what are sensations you feel in your body that tell you that you're close?
It is a lot of tension and the feel good tingles inside my pelvis. Kind of it feels like the middle or the base of my cock inside because the erection continues to go on the inside, and it's like this wave. This buildup of tension and this about to explode wave of pleasure. Mm-hmm. And then as I go over the edge of tumbling into orgasm, I should already be out. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing to understand about pulling out, because you can do it with a condom, because I have lovers who like to be ejaculated on, but we use condoms for fucking. So another option is, I pull out, I pull the condom off, and then I ta-da!
Or they help you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that too. So these are all things that you can do. But again, it's all based on knowing when and how close you are to the actual ejaculation.
Yeah. But knowing what to pay attention to is really useful.
Yeah. And then the wrong thing to do is to come and then pull out. Don't do that. That's not what pulling out means.
Great.
Leave your comments.
Yeah, we'd love to know what your questions are, what your thoughts are, and hopefully this helped.